y'all. So we about to jump into the story time of how I fell out with both of my long-term friends in Chicago. This took place in June, and I originally went to visit Chicago because one of the girls was pregnant at the time and she was having a baby shower. Before I jump into the story, I'm going to give y'all a little background. So y'all already know who the first girl is. We just might as well say it. Y'all know who she is. I originally met both of these two people through TikTok. I met her through TikTok because I gave them personal readings. If y'all know me from a couple years ago, I used to do personal readings on social media. I'm very intuitive and I'm gifted, hence on why I'm so emotionally intelligent. So I met both of them through DMs. I specifically met her through DMs after my first friend. So I knew the other girl first, but I met her second. We gonna call the other girl Tay. So I know both of them because I gave them readings, and me and Grace became friends through personal reading. And at first, I remember when I first ever gave her reading, I was skeptical on being her friend because, like, I remember feeling like she was, like, damn near forcing herself to be my friend, which at the time I never seen no type of way. I still don't, because I feel like I'm one of them people where, like, I'm not no friends type of girl anyways, like back then. So I was never friendly at all. Like I never would tell my business, none of that. Like I was never into friends, because if you friend a DMV, you know it's eat or get ate. And we taught, like, you don't tell people your business. Like it don't matter if y'all friends or not. I was never grew up on womanhood and friendship to begin with. Anyways, fast forward, me and her began to be friends, and we was friends for a while. Like we was friends, I think, up for 3 years up until we finally met. With me and Tay also met off of social media. We met first, and I actually went to one of Tay's birthday parties. She's from New Orleans. I went all the way to New Orleans just to go to her birthday party within like the first year of us meeting. So I would say within like 3 to 4 months of us knowing each other. No, about 6 months of us knowing each other. My mother drove me to New Orleans to meet her and go to her birthday party. Me and Tay was super close. We had a lot in common. I almost felt like me and Tay was like soul sisters. We kind of also like favor each other in features, even though she's darker than me. Me and Tay was super close. We went on our spiritual awakening together, like just a lot of different stuff. I feel like a lot of things that I would go through in my life also projected with her. Like it's also certain things that she would go through, and we would always go through similar things at the same time. So me and Tay first time was meeting in New Orleans at her birthday party. So let's speed the story up. At this point, I've been friends with Tay for probably 4 years, and at this point, I've been friends with Grace for like 3 going on 4 years. So I knew Tay for 5 and her for 4. Or 1 for 3, 1 for 4. I really don't remember. Anyways, as y'all can tell from Gracie's page, she's from Chicago. Her and all her people from Chicago. Just so happened her mother moved to Texas. Not the part of Texas that I stay in, but like 2 hours from this part of town. She had recently found out that she was pregnant with her current lover. She had recently was coming here for Thanksgiving. This all happened last year, y'all. We was friends last year. We was friends up until June, but, you know, we were still, like, friends last year. She so happened to be coming out there for Thanksgiving. I believe it was for Thanksgiving. She stayed for, like, a month and some change, or 2 months and some change, something like that. In the middle of her coming out there, whatever, she had asked me, like, could she come see me? And I'm like, yeah. Mind you, at the time, as y'all know, I have a narcissist mother. Me and my mother was getting into it a lot. The police kept being called to the house. I kept trying to figure out my living arrangement. I'm freshly 18 at the time. Like, I had a lot going on. And I almost really felt like it was not the time for Grace to come out there, whatever. And I felt like it wasn't the time for her to come. But me being a team player and me being a friend, I'm like, damn, we've been virtual friends for so long. I never even met her in real life. Like, you know, take your opportunity when you can. Even though I solely felt like in my heart it was not her time for me to see her and be trying to spend time with her when I don't even know my living arrangement. And this also ties into how I end up meeting a narcissist that I was dating. So she ends up coming to my part of Texas and to visit me. She met me at my house, and she spent the night at my house. I brung her in, and like I said, my mother was getting into it. So I ended up deciding I was going to go stay with the boy. Everybody knows that that's the worst decision to make. But at the end of the day, when you came from what I came from, I was in super survival mode. Which is hence why you shouldn't do your child like that. Anyways, me and her went to go stay with him for about 3 weeks together. So it wasn't just me. But of course, I went a day before she even arrived to see what type of vibes it was, like how it was over there. So this is my first time meeting her. I'm not gonna lie, my first time meeting her, I did feel like if I would have met her in person first, that's not somebody that I would have been friends with. And I don't mean to say that in no harm or nothing like that, but I remember just feeling like that based off of like the vibe that I got. But it was like, fuck it, we already friends now, you already here, and I never met her in real life. I think we started being friends when I was like 15 years old. Keep in mind, she's also pregnant, y'all. It's just a lot going on. I feel like from a mature perspective, we shouldn't have linked at this time. Anyways, like I told y'all, we stand in the house with dude. So it's me, dude, his roommate, and her. We all stand with each other. He got a 2-bedroom apartment. And that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. He was a narcissist. His ass was insane. Not crazier than me, though. You know I get the last lick. Anyways, I'm throwing this part in the story because that's our first time meeting each other. That's our first encounter. And I'm throwing that in here because all of that to say, I felt like she was flirting with him. And this is not even something that I ever even mentioned to her or took up with her. I'm just one of them people playing by ear. Like, now that I know that about you, I won't bring you around nobody else I talk to. So this is the first thing when I realized her ass was not my friend. Mind y'all, on top of this, I had went to this intuitive lady. She's a life coach. She's a prophet. So she does spiritual things through God. She told me that she was not my friend and that we was going to fall out. I have it on recording if y'all want to hear it. That we was going to fall out because she is very weird when it comes to boys. And this is another reason why intuitively in the back of my head, I felt like it wasn't our time to link. And especially for me to bring her around him. Because I didn't want to believe what that lady had told me. But I felt like in my heart and spirit that everything she told me was real. And I also felt like it was true because when I had told the girl about it, she immediately got very defensive and upset. And it's like, damn, it's almost like it triggered something. But I remember just thinking like, no, that's my friend. I don't think she'll really do that. You know, all the time, people that's spiritual, they don't always be right. So anyways, let's get into it. So me and the boy is dating. If anybody who know me, anybody knows me, they know that I've never been like a boy crazy or super into nobody I've dealt with. I was more so in survival mode and he was useful to me, to be honest. So I wasn't really trying to get to know him. He wasn't even really my type for real. It was just like, he's going to help me, to be honest. Y'all know. And if y'all act like y'all don't act like you don't. When you look this good, it's off the muscle. Hey. So with that being said, I didn't really know him. I probably only talked to him like a week before I went over there. And I wasn't really trying to get to know him because it didn't really matter. I remember one specific day, like, she gets to asking him a whole bunch of questions. Like, oh, what happened with your mom? Just like a whole bunch of shit. Like, you would ask somebody if like you trying to get to know them. And it's like, bitch, if I'm talking to this man, this is not your dude. Like, why do you keep sitting here asking him a million questions about his life story? And like, I just thought it was super friendly and I didn't feel like I was tripping. So I looked at her, I'm like, okay, bitch, that's enough. Like, shut up. And that's how we talk to each other anyways. And then it was another instance. We in the kitchen and he like, he pouring my drink or whatever. And she puts her cup out and he has the juice to his homeboy to pour her drink because that's not his girl, which I thought was super respectful. Me and her get in the room together. Like I said, it's a 2-bedroom. So we in the room that she's sleeping in. And she like, I don't like how he didn't pour my juice and he handed it to him. Like, dang, I get it. And in my head, I'm like, what would offend you about him giving his friend the juice to pour for you? That shouldn't offend you. If you my friend, you should have looked at that like, damn, he really respects you, friend. Like, what? So keep in mind, like, I don't fuck with the narcissist at all. I don't fuck with his ass in no shape, way, or form. Like, if I seen him, he probably could get that from me. And I already gave it to him. But when we would have sidebar conversations, he would be in the room telling me, like, I don't think that's your friend. I don't like her. That's not your friend. Like, look how she be talking to you. He would be telling me that. Mind you, he is also somebody that tried to display emotional abuse to me, for sure. So I remember looking at him, I'm like, nah, like, that's my friend. Like, that's just how we talk to each other. That's just how he is. And I remember him looking, like, dead serious with a straight-ass face. And nothing he says I really cared about. But every time I think back and I think about him telling me that, I'm like, damn, he was right. So I want y'all to all just keep this in mind. This is just a backstory. And that's why sometimes when people tell me things, I do take heed to it. I might not even believe it right in that moment, but I was taught whenever somebody say something to you about anything, always keep it in the back of your head because you never know when you might need it. My bad, y'all. I'm chiming in. But also to add, when I first brought her to his apartment, he was already there. And he didn't know exactly when we were showing up. And he had his shirt off. Mind you, nice built buff guy. When she first seen him, I looked in her face. And I could tell that she found him very attractive, which he was. And immediately once he realized she was there, he definitely went to go change his clothes and put a shirt on. But that's another thing I forgot to add. Come back for part 2. Part 2 on my friend fallout from hell. We went on a trip to Chicago and that shit ended in shambles. So anyways, part 1 was more like a backstory of everything that happened. We're going to speed it up now. So after that, we left being friends still. Like, I didn't fall out with her. It's kind of just something I kept to myself. And I just think it's more so I had so much shit going on outside of that than to, like, really think about it. And secondly, I think that I couldn't really believe that I was feeling that way about her. Because, mind you, we had been friends for 3 years, going on 4 years. And my friend that I just met for the first time, we was virtual. I'm figuring out that, like, she is going. So I never said nothing to her about it. I just kept in mind, like, okay, I know not to tell you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I know not to bring you around. Like, I knew the lady, the spiritual lady was not lying. Confirmation. So fast forward, she left and went back wherever she went. And then I went to go stay with my grandfather at this point. I had to up and move. That's a whole nother story. Ended up staying with my grandfather. And in the midst of that, she decided that she's going to have a baby shower. We been knew she was going to have a baby shower, but like we decided we was going to go through, or she decided she was going to go through and have an actual baby shower, which she wanted everybody to come to. When I say everybody, me and Tay. So we was like first on the invite list. Mind you, I had so much going on still, but you know, it was more at a calm. So I ended up going back to Dallas to walk the stage. I graduated early, but I was going to walk the stage. And my living situation became exactly the same. Now, mind y'all, when she told me that she wanted me to come to Chicago to her baby shower, intuitively, I really felt like that wasn't a good idea. I said, I don't think it's going to be a good idea for me to go there. That's what I said to myself. I didn't exactly know how to tell her no, to be honest, because I felt like our friendship, like when we fell out, I grew to learn that our friendship was more like an attachment than an actual friendship. And yeah, like, it would have been a thing. She probably would have understood, but I just felt like I owed it to her because I told her I was coming. It's her first baby. And it's like, it's never going to be another baby shower. But in the back of my mind, I just kind of felt like it wasn't going to be a good idea for me to go out there. And at the time her baby shower came around, I had a lot going on. And I feel like it still wasn't time for me to have been around her. I just had too much going on. Anyways, I still hassled to come out there. So I ended up being in Chicago for her baby shower. I ended up going. That's why y'all seen the pregnant picture. So let's get into that story time. Now, following up to the baby shower, me and Tay was not even cool. Me and Tay was not cool before we both arrived to Chicago because Tay had did something really fake that I'm not ready to speak on that yet. I don't know when I'm going to be ready to speak on that, but not now. But Tay know exactly what she did. I had went through something very traumatic, and Tay wasn't there for me. She had a lot of excuses, and she showed me that she had a very selfish character, which explains why we wasn't talking. Now, you gotta think, like, these are two females that I really looked at as my friends. Like, and the reason why I said when I first met the girl that that's not somebody I would have been friends with, because I immediately realized a lot of my own characteristics I didn't see in her. And a lot of girls that I choose to be friends with, it's because I see some of myself in them, whether it's ambition or hustler. Like, that's the type of friends that I usually have. And some of those characteristics I didn't see in her. So that's what I meant by that in my first part. So me and Tay hadn't been cool. Tay had been trying to get cool with me for like a couple months, but I was just like, no, I'm straight. Like, because if you a good friend, it ain't really no sorries to be had. It's either you got it in you or you don't. And this is just a time in my life where it's showing me like you didn't have it and you're not supposed to be my friend no more. And I really felt super connected to them. That's what I meant to say. I felt super connected to them. Like, I really felt like we was like this. Like, I used to thank God, like, oh my God, I really have good friends. So I think that's hints on why y'all gonna see I let a lot of stuff slide, or it's just certain things that, like, if I was in my head now, would have been different, because I really thought they was my friends no matter what, because I just feel like we all been through a lot together and we all knew a lot of each other's business. So yeah, me and Tay was not friends before we got to Chicago. So immediately when we touched down, me and Tay met each other at the airport because we flew into the same airport around the same times. Once I even got to the airport in Dallas is when I decided to call Tay over the phone, like, fuck it, I'm not gonna hold no grudge. We finna be in each other's face. This really more so for you and your baby shower, rather than it is for me or whatever I feel for Tay. So me and Tay link at the, everything cool. We taking pictures on her camera, on my camera, whatever. And we get into our Uber. Now, immediately, this is how I'm really big on energy. Everything felt like a hassle just to do one thing whenever I went to Chicago. And I noticed that shit. So we get in our Uber. Old girl called us an Uber to her Airbnb. Now, mind y'all, this is one thing too. This is the biggest thing of the story time. So we was all coming to Chicago. And me and Tay was going to be staying in the same Airbnb as her family. When I say her family, I mean her mother, her two older sisters, her niece, and her two brothers, and her. Mind you, me and Tay was gonna go half on Airbnbs. Was we gonna go half? I don't know. We was supposed to get an Airbnb or hotel or something, but they was all booked up, which I didn't mind doing none of that. And I did not know this until a day before we was about to touch down Chicago. The whole time I'm thinking that I knew they was gonna Airbnb, but I'm thinking that we finna be staying in a house with old girl. I didn't think that we was gonna be staying in the Airbnb with her family. If I knew that, I probably wouldn't have came. Because that just alone don't mix. Like, we not they people. We your people. So keep all of that in mind. I want everybody to keep that in mind. So old girl calls us the Uber. We get in the Uber from the airport. Mind you, everywhere in Chicago, it take long as fuck to get there. Like, I would hate to have to drive in Chicago, and it's always traffic. So we get into our Uber. The airport is an hour away from the Airbnb. An hour. So we had an hour ride. Imagine we just got off the plane. I think the plane ride was like 2 hours or something. We just got off the plane. We had to wait for our luggage, and we had to catch the ride. And it was an hour away. So me and Tay fell asleep in the Uber. We tired as hell. Like, we didn't hassle. Like, I don't know. It just felt like everything dragged that day. So we finally make it to the Airbnb. As soon as we make it to the Airbnb, we get in. We greeted by, old girl. And everything is like, everything. Come back for part 3. I don't want this to drag. Okay, so we make it to old girl's Airbnb. We get there. All 3 of us greet each other. Or greet her. We meet the mother. I never met her mother. We meet the sister. We meet whoever is there at the time. Now, we walk into the Airbnb. Keep in mind of the sister. 23 is what we gonna call her. That's how old she is. Keep that in mind. I immediately feel like I'm just being, like, stared at. Like, just like, we walking in with our bags. I'm like, okay, where do our bags go? Instead of just being looked at. Like, I don't know. I just felt like an awkwardness. So they're like, oh, you can put your bags upstairs. I'm like, cool. So we go upstairs, and everybody's following us upstairs. Not even everybody. The sister. 23. And we get upstairs. We putting our stuff upstairs. Mind you, we got to change because we got on airport clothes, and we finna go, like, out, or, like, we finna do something else. Like, we got on comfy clothes. We want to look a little bit cute. So we get upstairs. We unpacking, looking for clothes, me and Tay. Because we just came from the airport. The sister is just, 23 is just fucking staring. She just staring. Like, she's just staring. And my whole thing is, like, if we finna get dressed and we in the room, like, can you get the fuck out maybe? Or something? She just in there staring. So we finna get dressed. She like, oh, y'all can get dressed. I'm not watching y'all. I don't really care. I'm grown as shit. Like, I grew up with my big sister. Like, it didn't matter to me. But could you not stare at me getting naked? Like, is you weird, bitch? So Tay go downstairs in the bathroom. She probably peeped the vibe. She just was like, She went downstairs in the bathroom. I proceeded to get dressed in front of my shit. Like, I'm in the room with the door closed. Like, and it's like, we don't even know you. Like, get out the room. Why are you sitting here? I feel like anybody mature and grown and shit, like, it was just the vibe in the room to, like, okay, why you getting dressed and getting situated? Let me sit downstairs and wait for you. Why are you sitting here staring? Like, it just gave, like, you super freaked out. What are you doing? But I get dressed anyway because I'm just the type of person, I really didn't care. Like, I just got dressed. Whole time my Tata's out, she's staring. Like, so mind you, like, I'm unpacking my stuff and I set my perfumes on the dresser. When I set my perfumes on the dresser, I kid you not, not old girl. 23 gets up and sprays my perfume on her. The brokest shit I ever seen a bitch do. That is some bum ass shit. You was too old for that. I don't know you like that. Like, that is just something, like, I would never do that. She didn't say, ooh, girl, can I get some of this? Or can I smell it? Walked up, looked at my stuff, and sprayed it. This not even a real perfume. I think it was like some Bath and Body Works. Not you geeking for the Bath and Body Works. And I remember just looking like, why is you doing that? Mind you, this is my homegirl people. So how I would have treated somebody else, I'm trying to carry it with grace because I'm like, you her sister. That's the only reason I'm not going to carry you. But what are you doing? So while this is happening, old girl is not up here. I think she downstairs. She doing something. Tay walked back in the room. So while all this is happening, old girl is not up here. She downstairs doing whatever she doing. Tay walked back in the room, and Tay and the girl left. 23 left. Tay coming in. Tay like, why she was downstairs just like touching my stuff, like using my stuff. And I say to her, I'm like, hell yeah. I'm like, she just grabbed my perfume and sprayed it on her. And we both looking like, the fuck? At each other. In the midst of us talking, old girl walks in the room. And she like, what y'all talking about? I know when somebody being messy. What y'all saying? And we like, damn, bitch, we was gonna tell you. We just telling each other first. Which is nothing wrong with that. And I feel like, your sister wasn't fit enough to be around us. Like, I ain't trying to be funny or nothing or rude. But if I knew my sister act like that, I wouldn't have her around my friends. Like, you know, that's the type of little childish, like, bullshit she do. Like, I would have told her to wait downstairs. I feel like she tried to play it like that because that was her sister. Like, when you seen her kept staring at us while we was finna get dressed, you should have excused her to go downstairs. Just thinking back, next time, I won't give no bitch no grace. I would just say, can you get the fuck out for real? Because it was just like, ew, bummy. Did y'all ever teach you if you don't have something, don't act like you don't? I don't think they never taught them shit. Anyway, so that whole thing happens and it throws us off. When old girl said that, I told her, like, yeah, your sister just came up here spraying our stuff. She like, oh, for real? She like, oh, I go talk to her. Which I don't really feel like she really said, like, nothing hints to how the story's going to continue to go. Like, she might have mentioned it or said something, but you ain't really tell her, like, don't be doing extra shit. Like, this is not your friends. So boom, that happens or whatever. I'm very thrown off at this point. I'm kind of irritated. And then like her sister was just all in my face. Like she kept being like, you so pretty, da 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 da. Which that's cool. Like thank you so much. Like you know what I'm saying? But it just got to a point where I feel like she was kind of fanning out over me. And I'm not trying to be funny. Like I don't feel like I'm Beyonce. But I just thought to feel like that because I'm used to being like that because I be in the limelight a lot, especially like when I used to do the YouTube shoots and shit. Like I know when people looking at me a certain way, they not looking at me like a person. I know when people are kind of being like limerent towards me or acting like a little obsessive. That's kind of how I felt. And I know like it was probably mentioned that I had a TikTok following because if y'all know, this is not my first page. This is my second account. So I just felt like I was being looked at a certain way and I kind of irritated me a little bit, but I didn't say nothing. Mind you, this also my first impression on the family. Like, you know, I think I was more so peeping stuff, if anything. So we get downstairs and her and Tay, they like mingling. Not 23, but old girl and Tay, they mingling. Me, I'm not really saying nothing. I'm probably texting the boy I was talking to at the time. And I'm just like being quiet, minding my business. Only reason I'm sitting there quiet like that is because I was kind of thrown off. And I don't like when people try to like fantasize me like that. I don't like stuff like that. And if you get that type of attention, you know where I'm coming from. Like, I'm never trying to act like, oh, these people think they act like, you know, I'm never that type. Like, I don't even think that's funny. It really was given it. And I was really irritated because I had went to the bathroom. It was only one bathroom in the house, y'all. I was so blue by that. It's like, damn, there's 8 people in this bitch. It's only one bathroom. Hella girls. I was super irritated because I had went to the bathroom and I was putting on my lip liner. Y'all be saying my lip liner. Sometimes I be looking fucked up, but I was putting on my lip liner and I'm down there and 23 come in the bathroom and she like, oh, can I use some of your lip liner? The fuck? And this is when I said something. I said, girl, no. Wait, I don't know where you don't know where my lips been. Like, you too grown. Like, you was too grown for that. You not 15 years old. Like, you don't, and mind you, I'm 18 at the time, y'all. So mature for my age. You are 23. You don't know what I got. Like, you don't ask nobody, can you use some of their lip liner? Like, it was just getting very annoying. And that's why I felt like she was kind of looking at me, like, on a certain way. Because I'm like, I didn't like the vibe she was giving me. Like, you staring at me while I'm naked. You spraying my perfume. You keep being in my face, calling me pretty, asking about my TikTok. And then, like, we get to the bathroom, you asking for my lip liner. So I was really blue by that. Like, I was kind of very irritated. So come to find out, like, me and Tay having a side conversation while I don't know if we was in the car by ourselves or we was walking to the car. I don't know. But she was like, oh, girl asked her for, she was like 23, asked her for some of her pink lip gloss. And it's like, you 23. Why you don't got no fucking lip gloss? Like, bitches really get around you, like, ooh, she got this and that. And I don't like stuff like that. Like, don't bring me around your sister if you know your sister do shit like that. Like, it was very bummy. So I'm not gonna lie, I did make a joke. Or I did say, like, when we was going upstairs, I think when I first got in the house, I said to old girl, who baby shower when shit it was, who we out there for, I said, do your sister steal? Cause bitch, do she steal? And I only said that because, like, I just got the impression like she was super excited to see what was in our bags. Like, it was just, like, really throwing me off. Like, I was ready to go based on how her sister was acting. Like, and I feel like if you know your people act like that, do not invite me to stay in the same house with them. Now, here's when I really got irritated, y'all. Come to find out, like, they wanted us to share a room with the sister. Like, me and Tay is already 2 people, and these are full-size beds. They wanted us to share a room with the sister. I'm like, why would we not share a room with our pregnant friend? So that immediately threw me off. Like, if y'all all family, y'all should all sleep with each other. We don't know her. Like, they just kept trying to throw her in our face. And I don't know if it was a conversation had. Like, the girl was like, oh, I'll sleep with them. Like, because it was given, like, weird as fuck, to be honest. So I could see it. And I'm telling Tay on the side, I'm like, Tay, Why would they have a share room with, like... Because at this point, I'm not going to lie, I did say a lot of sidebar shit to Tay. Because at this point, the girl that I came down here to see, I don't know what level of thinking you're on. Like, I'm thinking we friends because we be on the same page a lot. So once I noticed that shit, I'm kind of running certain things by Tay. Like, Tay, how you feel about that? Because, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of things I'm saying, Tay is agreeing. Which I feel like anybody would. Like, the fuck? Come back for the next part. So fast forward into the story, y'all. So after that whole experience in the house, I was very thrown off. Mind you, I am so drained out. We didn't already been on the fight for 2 hours. It took us a whole hour to get here. Then we come home to get dressed just to see your sister be like hella fanned out. Like, I don't even know if it's called fanned out or like it was a little obsessive. I don't even know how to explain it. And I wouldn't even say it's because of like my following or nothing like that. I actually seen it more so as like she probably never been around girls who like keep their hair done or look like they got something going on for themselves, because it just kind of gave that. And you could be fanned out for somebody. Like, they don't have to be fucking Beyonce. So yeah, after all of that, I'm telling her, I'm like, I'm hungry. Like, I'm super hungry. Like, when I get hungry, I get really irritated too. That's another thing. Like, I'm super irritated. So she like, all right, I have my mother take y'all to get something to eat while we run before we go to the grocery store. Now, at this point, I'm kind of irritated because in my head, I'm like, why didn't y'all go to the grocery store before we touched down? Like, we've been in the airport all day and shit. Like, what make y'all think we want to go grocery shopping with you? Like, I'm not even trying to be rude or nothing, but it was just more so like, I feel like that was a little bit inconsiderate. Mind you, her mother was the one that was responsible for the grocery shopping. And I feel like her mother was very inconsiderate of her baby shower. Y'all gonna tell more about the story time as we go. But I just felt like if we coming from the airport and shit, like, you should have ran that across us, like, or asked us, did we want to stay home? Because, like, I don't know. I don't like grocery shopping. And then I'm hella drained. I'm kind of, like, tired. Like, and I'm ready to do something else. I'm feeling restless. Like, I don't really want to go grocery shopping. So, anyway, fast forward. She take us and she takes us to Chipotle. This Tay first time trying Chipotle. And they on my TikTok. Tay tried to Chipotle. We get Chipotle together. Cool. After Chipotle, we head to Walmart. Smooth. You get to Walmart. That shit was such a long-ass drive. Now, at this point in the car, I'm going to tell y'all my perspective. I'm starting to notice, like, old girl mother is not really like a mom. She more of like they friend. Like, her and what you call it in the front seat, her and 23 in the front seat smoking together. Like, she just seemed like she was trying to kick it with us. Like, it gave more friend. You know, I'm just realizing this. This is my first impression. That's it. So we make it to Walmart and we grocery shop, and they had to buy a lot of stuff, a lot of food. Like, we grocery shopping, they buying everything, you know, to pass the time. Me and Tay start making TikToks and recording each other and, like, just being girls, because old girl who we came, that's her baby shower, she was, like, planning stuff out with her family and talking to her family and stuff like that. So we start having fun with each other because, for one, we didn't want to be in a grocery store. It was very mutual. Now, me, I'm very vocal. I say how I feel a lot. Tay, more so, I don't know if she was trying to play a role or she just felt like it wasn't appropriate. I don't really know. But she felt the same. And I could tell by her attitude and demeanor. She didn't really say much. Like, she probably said, like, one or two things. But, like, I let it be known, like, girl, why are we at the grocery store? Y'all could have did this morning, which I feel like they should have. So, another thing, like, I feel like when you with adults, your sister's 23, she's older than you, you're 20. Your mother's old enough to be my grandmother. So, I feel like when you with adults, like, they should have your best interest to where they give you advice and they're leading you to where y'all doing stuff that makes sense. So in the middle of us shopping, old girl who baby shower, they like, oh yeah, we need to get the meat. We have to go to the meat store or whatever. Like, we still got to go to the meat store to buy all of the meat. And I'm telling her, I'm looking at the time, it's late. I'm like, I don't think the meat store is going to be open. I'm 18 years old at this time, y'all. For me to say that and you shopping with your mother and your big sister and they don't, like, I just didn't they was, a lot of shit they was doing was really, like, not helpful in my opinion. Like, it was kind of, I didn't understand. So I'm telling her, I'm like, boo, I think they closed. Like, y'all was going to the meat store, y'all should have been did that shit this morning, or y'all should have went, like, before we came here. So she looked it up and they closed. And I feel like, honestly, my own opinion, I think they made a lot of stuff harder on her than it had to be because she was super pregnant. Like, if I was her, I wouldn't have wanted to be around them during my pregnancy because I don't understand. Like, it's like you, in the same sense, they helping you because they got the vehicle and stuff like that, but you still have to be responsible for so much stuff. What you can't control, that's your family, but damn. So that's immediately another thing I noticed about the family. This is first impression. I'm paying attention to everything. I'm an analyzer. So while we in the grocery store or whatever, old girl, she goes, dang, y'all keep taking videos and pictures with each other. Y'all not putting me in nothing. Y'all not including me. Mind you, you grocery shopping with your family. Like, we really ready to go. So we really trying to pass the time. Like, if you writing down lists and calling different stuff and y'all got different stuff, like y'all know what y'all need and what y'all cooking, like, and we doing whatever we doing, like, it's not even personal. It was never personal. But we start including her, like, okay, get into TikTok, da-da-da. Like, you know, because it's just like, I don't know. And I almost started to question, like, a lot of stuff she was doing that was throwing me off. I don't know if it was because she was pregnant. Like, I've never been around a pregnant person for real. But we just started including her. So fast forward after this, we get to the register, we pay for the stuff or whatever. Finally, we was in that bitch for like 3 hours. The mother wanted to buy some lick, but she didn't have her ID. And you know, at Walmart, like, the lady looked old as shit. I would have just gave it to her. But they always say you gotta have your ID, like, even if you got gray hair. Her mother looks very much her age. Like, they could have just sold it to her. But they was telling her, like, she had to have an ID. The lady immediately started making a scene, like, have an ID, da-da-da-da-da, I'm grown, da-da-da-da-da. Mind you, in my head, I'm thinking, like, dang, why are you driving in the store without your ID at your big age? Like, that's just what I'm thinking from a young perspective. You know, not that I be driving and stuff, like, people do forget stuff like that. But I'm like, dang, you don't got your ID on you? Like, now, this is not really significant, but it just also ties into, like, me starting to realize the dysfunction that's going on or what type of person her mother is. Like, this is why I'm saying it. But in the same sense, we laughing. Like, we think this shit funny. We like, damn, she funny as shit. Like, you know, we having a good time. So, after this, we pull up to the west side. If y'all from Chicago, you know, the west side. We pull up over there, and the mother meet one of her guy friends, which I also think this is a very something very inconsiderate. She meet her guy friend, and she ready to hop in the car with him. Mind you, like, we just bought a whole bunch of cold food, like, shit that gotta go in the refrigerator. And I'm asking old girl in the backseat, I'm like, she gonna leave all the groceries in the car like that? Like, this shit gotta go in the refrigerator. Like, it's so much. Like, you see what I'm saying? And the mother just ready to go ahead and jump off with dude, whatever they finna do. And old girl had needed an air mattress. And she was supposed to go pick up that air mattress from what it sounded like. And she wasn't even sure if they really had it. Checked for that last minute for us. That's another thing. It was just a lot of stuff that was very unorganized. It was a lot going on. So anyway, after that, we all wanted to go downtown or whatever. So she had her friend dude, like, drop us off downtown. We got in the car to go with him. But I'm looking at her like, your mother's so psyched to go be with this little, you know, this little man. And she finna leave your groceries in the car for the baby shower overnight because she that pressed to be with him. Like, I feel like you gotta, like, for me as a woman, make him come meet you at the house. Like, I didn't understand that because it's like, you almost old enough to be my grandmother. Like, I'm like looking like, what? So they let them groceries sit overnight or whenever she came back to get him because she was pressed to go with that man. And I'm saying all of this because I keep looking at character. That's why I keep pointing this out to y'all. So anyways, dude, he take us downtown. We all fit in his car. Now, when I say he take us downtown, 23 came with us, her sister. She came and Tay was there, whatever. Now, 23 kept insisting that we got a bottle. So we did get a bottle. And I remember thinking, like, you know, Mono, maybe you shouldn't drink. I kept thinking that shit, like, this is probably just not the time for you to drink for real. Because when you drink, it influences a lot of stuff. And then sometimes you can't really be alert as you should be. Or really, you don't know if you tripping or, like, you know what I'm saying? But when you know you're not drinking at all, like, it's just different. So we in the car, we kicking it, and we finally make it to downtown. Once we get downtown, like, everything is cool. Like, we having fun. You know, she hella pregnant, so we was trying to get one of them people that be driving, and I was going to pay for it. I was going to pay for her to get on one of the little ride things, so we had to keep walking, because she's hella pregnant. In the midst of all of that, we just having a really good time. Like, we recording, like, we having a good time. So I remember, like, I had a male friend that's from Chicago, and me and him got previous things that happened between us as to why I really had no business talking to him at the time. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. But when you be so comfortable with, like, you know, dysfunctional shit and talking to somebody even though you know how they are, it's like, it's almost like just natural. So anyways, I had wanted him to come downtown because he said he wanted to see me once I came to Chicago, because I had been told him I was coming to Chicago months ago, and she invited him to the baby shower and was like, yeah, he come to the baby shower, he just gotta bring a gift, da-da-da-da. And I had stopped talking to him before the baby shower even hit, so it was just like a different story. But I was like, oh, well, I'm downtown. Like, he could just meet us downtown so he don't come to the Airbnb, or, you know, like, he could meet us right here. So before I invited him, I look at them and I'm like, do y'all mind if he come down here? Like, do y'all care if he come downtown with us or whatever? Like, would it be a problem? Because at the end of the day, y'all are my friends and I'm with y'all. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, this is not my trip. Come back for the next part. So they like, yeah, like, it's no problem. Like, he could come. Like, we don't care. We not tripping. I'm like, all right, bet. Get him on the phone. I'm like, yeah, I'm in Chicago. You want to meet me downtown or whatever? He like, yeah, but I'm all the way in the suburbs. He like, it's going to take me like 40-something minutes just to get over there or whatever. Mind you, I think we were supposed to leave around 11 or was it 7? I think it was 11 we were supposed to leave or whatever. So I'm telling him, I'm like, dang, it's going to take you that long? I'm like, well, we going to leave around this time, though. Around this time is when we going to be getting headed to leave or whatever. And he like, all right, yeah, but I'm stopping at the liquor store. I'm going to grab some liquor or whatever. I'm like, all right, that's fine. So the whole time that he's on his way coming, like, he keeping me up to date on him coming and everything. So we downtown, we having fun. I tried the gyro or whatever. And we just vibing, like, we having fun, we laughing together, taking videos, whatever, doing what girls do. Like, it's cool, whatever. Even this man had picked me up on the street and was like, oh, I got a black truck. Do y'all need a ride to wherever y'all going? And my friend pregnant and shit. I'm like, yeah. I get out the little ride. He hand me some money. So we having a good time. We go to get the gyro. Old dude paid for 23 food. Like, we just having a good time. It's cool. So with all of this going on the whole time, the boy I used to talk to, like, he updated me on how far he is and stuff. Like, I know how far he is. So let's just fast forward the story. He like 7 minutes away. But if you ever been to Chicago downtown is big as fuck. Like, it's big down there. Now, I'm not even from Chicago. I'm not even knowing, like, Chicago closed down at a certain time. So I feel like even him trying to still meet me, he should have knew not to come because, you know, he from here. I'm not from here. And Chicago downtown is kind of upscale. I love Chicago. That's one of my favorite cities I visited. But anyway, so he like 7 minutes away. At this point, like, we kind of wrapping up. Like, everybody kind of, you know, like, ready to do something else because we've been here for a couple hours now. And we at the table and we end up going to Chick-fil-A. We was eating a whole bunch of shit. We had been drinking, so we just eating. And I'm telling her, I'm like, damn, he like 7 minutes away. And I'm like, you know, the whole time he been updating me on when he was coming and stuff like that. And I was like, he's 7 minutes away. And in my head, I'm really kind of implying, like, damn, we could at least just wait till he show up and then leave. Or, like, you know. But it seemed like she was really ready to go. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, damn, it's kind of inconsiderate if I invite him and I leave. And I knew, like, he kept me up to date the whole time he was on the way and how far he was. And I just go ahead and leave. So I'm telling her whatever. I'm like, well, since he almost here, I'm just going to wait right here. Because he literally in the area. I'm like, I'm just going to wait right here and y'all could go ahead. I didn't say nobody had to stay with me. Tay being Tay and her volunteering like a friend should. She said, well, since it's you and 23, since it was old girl and her sister, y'all could go back to the house. And then I'll stay with Mono so she not by herself because she not even from here. Mind y'all, at the time, I'm in stupid survival mode. Like, I'm grown as shit. I don't even have no mother to call on if anything happened. Like, that's just how I am. So I feel like as adults, because I feel like that's another thing why I feel like this situation kind of clash. Because as adults, like, and I consider myself a super adult because I don't wake up to depend on nobody. Like, I wake up and get everything for myself. Like, you feel me? And I think that's the disconnect that we all had as friends. So I told them they could go ahead and go because I had new dude. And then secondly, I'm used to being, like, super, like, independent. So I didn't feel like, oh, you don't even know where you at. Like, I don't know. I didn't feel like that. And that could have been the case or it couldn't have been the case. You feel me? So old girl and 23, they get up from the table and they walk off. And when old girl kind of walked up, I did kind of get the vibe, like. But I was just like, okay. Because when I ran into her that I was going to stay, she was like, that's fine. She was like, that's okay. Now, mind you, we have been friends for multiple years at a time. And if she know me, I'm super blunt. Like, if I feel some way about anything, and I'm from the DMV, if you know, you know. We speak up about how we feel. So don't tell me something you don't mean. Don't say, okay, that's cool. Go ahead and hop in your Uber. Oh, yeah, she was calling the Uber at the same time. That's why I went on and told her, too. But you really don't feel that way. So Tay stayed behind with me, but Tay was also saying that she was tired. Like, I don't know. I just feel like I didn't want to be like, damn, I invited him all the way out here and just go ahead and leave. And at the same time, I did say we were supposed to be leaving a certain time. It could really go a lot of ways. But to make a long story short, like, we end up staying or whatever, and the boy did not even end up coming. He said because whoever he was in the car with was like super like messed up off the lick, and it was just a lot going on. And he ended up having to hop out the car on the boy, whatever. Mind you, the boy never spent me. This never happened. Whenever he was supposed to see me, he had just come see me. So I didn't even expect for that to happen. So now I kind of seen where they was coming from with like, oh, you somewhere you don't even know where you at. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I kind of see that now. And I felt hella bad because the girl Tay that I was with, I'm like, damn, I just put her in a situation and she already was saying how she was like tired. And I'm pretty sure she was ready to go home. Like, we done had a long day. So, y'all, I apologized to Tay. I'm like, dang, Tay, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't mean for it to go like that. I didn't know that he wasn't going to come. And I swear to God, I did not know. I wouldn't even been dealing with dude if I felt like he would have just spent me downtown in his city. Like, that's not my character. I genuinely did not know. So I apologized to her. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, my bad. I'm super irritated. At this point, y'all, I'm crying. Like, I'm super annoyed. Like, I don't know. I think I already had a lot going on that nobody even really knew about. And then I kind of got very irritated due to the circumstance because I felt like I almost, like, sacrificed that. Thinking about somebody else's feelings and nobody thought about my feelings. Because the plan was, like, we was going to see you downtown and then from there, you was going to drop us back home. But since you didn't even come, now we got to also figure out how to get home. And then we didn't even know the address to the Airbnb. So it just kind of fucked up a lot of shit. And I got really irritated. And I also felt super bad because I've dragged somebody else in this situation with me. So mind you, all that type of shit happened. Me and Tay get in the car and Tay like, damn, like, you know, don't worry about it. Like, I understand. Like, don't feel bad. Like, it's all right. Like, you don't got to cry. Like, she basically, like, comforted me. And she like, you know, I don't feel no type of way. Like, I understand. So fast fucking forward, I get to the Airbnb. I must have walked into the Airbnb and 23, the sister, she like, yeah, old girl want to talk to you. She feels some type of way. She got something to say. And I looked at her and I went, okay. And it's almost like I didn't really have no reaction like quick because I didn't even expect, like, it just gave you being messy. Like, it gave, like, you need to mind your fucking business. And I went upstairs and in my head, I'm like, okay, mind you, in my mind, these are like my real friends. Whenever we really feel some type of way about each other, it's always been open and honest. So I couldn't understand your sister saying that means that y'all already had a sidebar conversation about me. And it's like, at least had sidebar conversation with people that respect you enough to not even repeat what the fuck y'all even talked about. So I'm just like, huh? So I go upstairs, I take my shower, I'm getting settled, whatever. Old girl come upstairs and she like, I'm not gonna lie, like, I felt some type of way that you had went down. No. I think when I walked into the door, the sister was like, something about me leaving her or something like that, and she wanted to talk to me. Something like that was said. And before she even came upstairs, her little brother came upstairs. He's like closer to my age. And he said her nickname. He like, who left you downtown? And I'm looking like, what the hell? So you didn't sit here and discuss this whole thing with your family. And you know I gotta come back and be here with your family. And I'm supposed to be your friend. So that's something you should have took up with me. Right or wrong? Like, you feel me? And my whole thing was like, why would you sit in my face and agree that you didn't have a problem just to have a problem and go back and discuss the whole thing to your family? So we get upstairs or whatever, and she like, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like, I did kind of feel some type of way because I feel like you came down there with me and you left to go with them and da-da-da-da. And in my head, I'm like, we all grown as shit. Like, if I'm not ready to go in the house, I don't have, like, that's how I'm thinking about it. And I don't know, like, in my head, I'm like, I don't know if that's wrong or not, but I even took it up with you as a friend. Like, I asked you, did you have a problem with it? And you was like, no. So I'm like, all right. If she would have told me, like, bitch, no, I feel like you should just come home. Because even when she ran into me, she was like, oh, well, I just feel like you should come home because you don't really know where you at. You don't know what state you in. Like, you never even been here before. She was like, anything could have happened. And you dragged Tay with you in that situation. That's how she ran it to me. Like it was a safety reason and she really cared. Instead of running it like, damn, I did feel some type of way. I feel like you left me. Like, that's what her family was saying. She felt like I left her downtown and da-da-da-da. And her sister was even like throwing her 2 cents like, yeah, if I wasn't there, she probably would have left you. Like, bitch, no, I would not have. Why would I do that? Like, that's the only reason I went. I'm like, well, your sister, like, you know, from my perspective, I just kind of felt like if you felt some type of way as a friend and you felt like I was leaving you or whatever it was, you should have said that in the moment. Because mind you, we not just like kicking friends. Like, this really my friend. Like, we talk every day. Like, we tell each other how we feel all the time. So it's not like no average friendship. So I really didn't expect that from her. And not only that, immediately when you left me, you got on the phone. So this is how it went. She got on the phone and told her mother. Her and her sister rode in the Uber together, so they talked about me together. Supposedly, her mother then said something to the brother. And this my whole thing, like, you supposed to be my friend. So you might forgive me, but your family might not. Come back for the next part. Alright, next part on my story time. I went out of town with my 2 friends and it turned into a trip from hell. We all fell out. Trip to Chicago. So yeah, I just felt like, you know, that's something you should have ran across me rather than your family, whether I was right or I was wrong. Honestly, in my mind, I didn't really feel like I was wrong because I did run it across her. And I felt like I immediately felt like she was being fake because your family keeps saying that they saying that I left you. Like, that's what they saying. But you coming out your mouth trying to make it seem like it was for my well-being. And this is what my people told me. They said, well, if she was so concerned about your well-being, why didn't she send y'all the address to the Airbnb? Mind you, we calling her the whole time she's not answering the phone. She did not answer. We had to go to pictures that we took at the Airbnb and get the location from the fucking picture and get the ride. Because we didn't even pay for the first Uber there from the airport. So this is the first thing that happened. And a lot of people might have different opinions. People that I spoke with on the situation, they said they didn't feel like I was wrong. And honest to God, I really didn't feel like I was wrong. Like, thinking back though, I feel like from a mature perspective, now that I'm in a different space with myself, I didn't really have no business linking with him, period. And that's why that happened how I did, because it wasn't meant to be. You feel me? But I feel like as a friend, if I asked you, was it okay? And you came out your mouth and you told me yes. And then you got in the car and talked about me with your family and your sister and told them a whole nother story than what you said to me. That was just weird as shit. And to conclude that, I may have been wrong in your eyes, but that shit was weird and fake of you. Because maybe I should have just been on some like, you know what, he gonna have to catch me on another time. Which, me being me now, that's what I would have did. I should have been like, oh yeah, he's just gonna have to catch me on another time. But I did feel like it was kind of inconsiderate that I did tell him to meet me all the way down here. And then as soon as he get here, I'll leave. But at the end of the day, I shouldn't even consider his feelings because he didn't consider me. And I didn't even end up seeing him, period. I didn't see him downtown, period. Which shows that I probably should have just took my ass to the Airbnb. But for me, the principle was more so, if you felt some type of way, don't gossip with me to your family, and then you know I had to stay in the same house with your family, and you know your family. Like, they gonna feel some type of way after that. And then don't try to kick it to me like it's for my well-being, but you telling them that I left you. That's what they kept saying. And I'm not gonna lie, I had a lot of stuff going on, y'all. Like, a lot of shit. Like, a lot of stuff. A lot of different emotions on me. Probably why I wasn't making some of the smartest decisions y'all gonna see. But when you go through a lot of shit, sometimes you don't even be thinking about certain stuff. Like, I don't know. So anyways, that's a discussion, and we sitting there, and mind you, while we sitting there, Tay is agreeing with everything that she's saying. And in my head, I'm thinking, like, why is Tay being a yes man? Because another thing that my people told me, like, if Tay really felt some type of way, why would she, if that's your real friend, why would she wait to get around old girl and agree and say how she felt versus telling you in an Uber when it was just y'all two alone? Because it's not even a three-way friendship. We have our individual friendships with each other. So it's not like you my friend through her. Bitch, that's your friend through me. And I remember in the moment feeling kind of like ganged up on, or like a little bit like, you ever know how you start feeling like something ain't right, but you don't really know how to put your finger on it because you don't really understand what's going on right now? That's how I was feeling. I'm like, damn, why is Tay sitting here agreeing with her? So mind you, even though he didn't pull up to the, he was trying to see me at the Airbnb. And I was finna let him, like, come pull up outside just to see me, which I'm not gonna lie, that shit was dumb. I was fucking tripping. That shit was fucking stupid as hell. Only reason I low-key was finna let him come, though, because he was supposed to give me some money. But I'm not gonna lie, in the moment, it was just, that was stupid as hell. Like, I could agree with that. And they was telling me, like, bitch, hell no, I don't think you should let him come. Like, they was like, no, like, he just spent you, like, yeah, he probably gonna come to make up for it, but make him catch you on a different day. And that I do agree with. That was not a good choice or right to do. And in that moment, I agree with them. I'm like, yeah, y'all right. So this is where I need y'all to really lock in. So boom, I'm sitting in the room or whatever, and the same brother who like, did you leave my sister? He comes in the room with his blick. And he points the blick in my face, and he like, yeah, I pume you. And I looked him dead in his face, and I said, get that blick out my fucking face. And old girl is just watching him do it. Like, she just looking. Like, bitch, you should have said something before I even said something. Ooh, I told the story wrong. No, he had pulled up to come see me or whatever. But he had wanted me to go with him. And my dumb ass was finna go with him. Mind you, I never even spent the night with him. But I've seen him countless times. Like, he was not a stranger to me. And I remember that's what they was telling me. They was like, bitch, do not go with him. Are you cool? And I'm not gonna lie, I was tripping because we out of town. Like, you here with your friends. Like, if you want to see him while y'all out and about, that's cool. But going to stay with him is a little bit insane. And I agree. That shit was really, I don't even know. I was not in my right mind. I was not thinking right. Looking back now, I disagree with that whole type of interference. But anyway, back to that, what I was telling y'all. So, yeah, he points it in my face. And she like, looking. And you should have said it before I said it, like, and I'm looking around like, is you serious? Like, why is your brother? Mind you, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. Like, I'm not really easily frightened. Now, this is my first time meeting her brothers. She got 3 brothers. Only 2 of them was at the house. So this night is my first night and encounter with her brothers. So they both come home with blicks. They waving them joints everywhere. They in everybody's face with them, like they doing too much. It's another room across from the room we was staying in. They in the room playing like Chicago drill, waving the blicks around. You could just tell they never had no blick. Like, you could just tell like they just was doing what they see on the internet or something. It just gave very much like, you know, because you in a house with women. Anybody that's like really in the streets or whatever, like, there's not even a time for that. And y'all should have called your uncle to whip their ass. So while all of this is happening, one of her brothers seemed like he is tripping. Like, he seemed like he was tripping. Like, that's the best way I could put it. Like, he didn't seem like himself. His face was very red and his face was like twitching a lot. I didn't really catch on to that till later. But the mother kept going in the room and she was like, y'all need to turn the music down. They had the music blasting. We in the Airbnb. She like, y'all need to chill out. If you supposed to be the mother, that's how I know you play more of a friend role, because I can't even understand why they thought that was okay. Secondly, how was Blix even allowed around you and you a parent? Like, I didn't understand that. So that's all going on or whatever. This night, me and Tay fell asleep in the bed together. We tired as shit. And mind you, like I said, they wanted us to like share a room with everybody. So I guess they was originally supposed to be sleeping in the room that we was in. So some of their stuff was like in the drawers or whatever. So I'm in there knocked out, sleep. Me and Tay knocked the fuck out. Tay never woke up the whole time. The youngest brother, he's 16. He comes in there with his blick. He keeps coming in and out the room. And I remember I got up and I locked the door. Because I'm like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, get the fuck out. That's just disrespectful. You see us sitting here laying here. Like, we older than you. We your sister friends. Like, have some fucking respect. So I got up and I locked the door. Like, get the fuck out. And I doze back off and fall asleep. But I keep hearing like an argument and disagreements back and forth. And it's him saying he's going to unalive his mother. He's still waving around the blick. They telling him to put it down. Like, it's just a lot going on. Mind you, it's 4 of them. It's the mother. She's old enough to be my grandmother. It's my pregnant friend. It's the oldest sister, and it's 23. It's 4 of them, and then it's the other brother. And he was doing the same thing, but he wasn't tweaking like the youngest one. So all of this, I'm hearing all of this through the door. And it was this phone in the room. The shit kept ringing. I gave that shit to the mother in her hand. I'm like, take this phone. Like, get this shit the fuck out the room. It was annoying. They was being so annoying. They was being too loud. I can't understand why you can't tell your son what to do. Like, all of it irritated me. I'm in here trying to go to sleep. Like, it was so annoying. And I don't sleep heavy. So once I locked the door or whatever, I dozed off, I wake up to somebody like jiggling on the door real hard and like trying to get in. Like, I guess he was picking the lock. So he come through the door and he's like talking to himself. But he's talking to somebody, if that makes sense. Like, he's talking to somebody like they in front of them, but nobody's talking to him. He's talking to himself. And I remember getting up, like, because I didn't know. I knew he was tweaking, but I didn't know how bad. So I remember getting up, like, what the fuck is he doing? And I kind of got up and I looked at him. And he seen me. And I looked at him in his face because he turned the light on. And his face was, like, twitching and red. I'm like, what the hell? So then he goes over to the drawer. He like, I'm finna leave, da-da-da-da-da. And he put all his stuff in his book bag. And he, like, just going through it. And I'm looking at him. No. When he first came in the room, I'm like, you need to stop making all that fucking noise. That's what I told him. And he just kind of looked at me and he got quiet. And when he came in the second time, he didn't make any noise. They was all scared of that little boy. Come back for the next part. know what part this is, but it's my friend fallout. My trip to Chicago from hell. So anyways, yeah, like, they all scared of him. At this point, he still got Blick in his hand, and he was coming up to the room. And I told him, like, you need to stop making all that fucking noise. We in here sleeping. That's exactly how I worded it and said it. I don't care who he threatening to unalive. I don't care about no Blick. I believe in the Most High. God is who I praise to. I'm not scared of no 16-year-old walking around with a gun. Like, you gonna have to shoot that motherfucker. And I'm really from shits. So if you ain't did shit you said yet, I'm not scared. Where I'm from, people stand on business. So 9 out of 10, ain't nobody gonna say what they gonna do. The shit gonna be done already. That's one of the reasons why I was not scared. So once I told him that, the second time he came in the room, he came in there quiet. And I noticed, like, he's still talking to himself. He's throwing stuff in the bag. His face is twitching and really red. And I'm looking at him. I'm like, yeah, I know you and your mother keep getting into it, but you really need to calm down. You need to calm that shit down. Like, I'm cussing and everything. Like, just talking to him. A little aggressive, but, you know, like, I'm not scared. Like, I don't know. I've been through too much shit. I don't get easily scared by shit like that. I'm not going to lie. The way he was acting was super scary. I probably wasn't as scared as them because I don't know how he usually act. But he was acting super scary. I definitely felt hella tension in the room. Like, something was completely not right. But it was just, like, a lot going on. Like, and it was plenty of times he kept walking back and forth with the gun. I feel like, number one, take the fucking gun from the nigga. Like, I didn't understand that. So, I don't know. I think he ended up falling asleep or he wanted to leave. He was packing his bag to leave. As a mother, she didn't have any type of control over him. None whatsoever. Ever. I had more control over him with what I said than whatever the fuck she was doing. Nobody in that house. Like, I don't know why they kept trying to talk to him. In my head, I'm like, this little nigga is 16. Why y'all don't put him up against the wall? Because I'm not gonna lie. In my head, I was thinking, if this shit turn any worse, I'm finna get up and jack this nigga up. I was thinking that shit in my head. I was just hoping it ain't have to come down to it. Because he's about the same size as me, if not smaller. Like, I didn't understand why everybody was so scared. Like, I didn't even understand. Fear is what's gonna get your ass dope. And let's understand. I wasn't scared. I just felt like I'd be damned if I let somebody little ass son talk to me any type. Like, I didn't see what was to be scared of. Even though he was tripping, and come to find out, he was off some type of pills. Like, something, like, you know how they be like, oh, you only get tough off the pill? That's what was happening. It was happening. Now, this is the amount of dysfunction that I'm experiencing while in this house. So it went from y'all being messy to your little brother tripping at night. Like, it's just extremely too much going on, which is showing me that I should not be here. And no, that's not her fault, but I'm just like, I would never stay in the house with nobody else's family. Like, what is going on? I couldn't even believe it was happening, and then all of y'all are so scared. Like, why is y'all in the house with somebody y'all scared of? Like, I didn't even understand. So they ended up taking him out. They took him somewhere. He was packing his bag to go. She ended up calling the 12 on him to meet her wherever she was going. They woke him up and took him to jail, whatever. I feel like as a mom, that wasn't really a good decision because he's never going to respect you after that. Like, he's not going to respect you, period, because you didn't even discipline him. The police did. And at the end of the day, you still have to come back and deal with your son. But, you know, that wasn't my business. We wake up the next morning. They all talking about it. I gave my little 2 cents. I told them what I said to him. Like, I didn't understand why everybody was so scared. And this is how I know Tay was being a yes man, because she even woke up and she was agreeing with him. And I understand, like, he was tweaking, but I'm like, bitch, you wasn't even up. Like, I feel like in every situation, like, she found the reason to, like, y'all see what I'm trying to say? So, mind you, this day that we woke up the next day, we supposed to go to the beach. I was under the impression we was going to go to the beach during the day so we can enjoy the beach. I love the beach. I like to be at the beach the whole day. I feel like everybody goes to the beach and they know that. If it's an outing, we're going to be there the whole day. I feel like it was a perfect outing. You were pregnant as fuck, you know. So we wake up, me and Tay, you know, we just, you know, sit around for a couple hours, and then we finally decide, like, we going to get ready. 3 o'clock roll around, like, we done been ready for a couple hours already. Like, we ain't ate, my stomach and my back, so I'm starting to get irritated. Tay's so fucking hungry, she went downstairs and made some cereal. I'm kind of annoyed because from what I know, like, we supposed to be going to the beach today. And I wasn't the only one. Like, Tay thought the same shit. She just probably didn't voice that because we spoke about it. And, yeah, I'm like, damn, it's taking extremely too long for us to, like, do whatever we supposed to be doing. And I feel like that was fine, but can you at least let us know? Like, I don't really know what time we going to the beach, whatever. Mind you, when we first woke up, I had asked her about the beach, and she was like, she gonna find out and find what beach we gonna go to or what time, whatever. Mind you, she never let nobody know nothing. Like, and I'm thinking we all going. She never let nobody know nothing when I asked her. I mean, after I asked her, she never, like, followed up with it. So, boom, like, I come downstairs. At this point, I'm kind of irritated. Like, I ain't ate all day. We dry just sitting around. Like, ain't nobody let me know nothing. So, I come downstairs, and Tay was like, I'm finna ask them. But I'm like, no, shit, I'm going to ask. So, we get downstairs, and I'm like, so, like, when we going to the beach? Her mother said I got smart with her. She felt like the Uber, da-da-da-da-da. Now, she didn't tell me that. When I said it, she said, baby, I don't know when y'all going to the beach, da-da-da-da. She felt like I was being rude. Which I don't feel like I was being rude. Like, y'all from Chicago. Like, we all was talking aggressive to each other the whole entire time. And you so grown, you shouldn't have took that shit as no harm. Like, I'm a little ass girl. Like, I don't understand why people be so intimidated. Like, if I was grown and shit, couldn't no child make me feel so, like, you see what I'm saying? I don't know. So she felt like I was being rude. I didn't feel like I was being rude. Old girl said that she felt like it wasn't even my place to have asked them. And I really wasn't asking her mother. I was asking whoever was listening. She just so happened responded. So old girl was like, she felt like I shouldn't have said nothing to her mother because that wasn't her mother's trip. I did think we was all going. I didn't know her mother wasn't going, but she was like, that's not her mother's trip. And I should have, her mother had already said earlier she was going to let me know. Yeah, earlier at like 8 in the morning. It's 3 o'clock. Like, you see what I'm saying? And she said her mother felt some type of way, like I was being smart to her. And I'm just like, I don't understand what she got. I was being smart, because if I was, after her response, I would have had something else to say. Like, I don't even understand, like, y'all disrespectful and my disrespectful always be different. Because if I was being smart, I feel like I just would have went by it differently. And I feel like if it did come off as smart, I was kind of irritated, but that was never my intention. So I feel like as a grown woman, like, you should have said that, and I would be like, damn, my bad, I didn't mean to come off that way. Like, I don't really know, because it's like you telling her for her to tell me, like, for you to, I didn't get that. Even though, true enough, that's her friend, she responsible for us, but I just feel like if you want to keep feeling that type of way as an adult, you should have just said something, because we all grown. So I'm looking like, damn, she thought I was rude. Like, I didn't even catch that type of drift. And then Tay was like, yeah, you shouldn't have asked her, da-da-da-da-da. And I'm sitting here like, bitch, Tay, you said you was going to ask her. Like, I'm thinking that in my head, but I didn't say nothing. And I think I never really said nothing because I just kept thinking to myself, like, is she really keep agreeing? Like, I don't know. So, mind you, like, maybe I shouldn't have said it, you know? But I just wanted to know what was going on. Like, because they the ones with the car. Like, you see what I'm saying? I don't know. But her mother had a problem with that. Cool. So, I don't know. I just immediately started feeling like everything was weird. I started feeling like everything was weird. And I'm one of those people, when I feel some type of way, I immediately start saying how I feel. So, once I got upstairs and they were just me and Tay, still confiding in her, even though she's showing me her ass is playing a role. I'm like, Tay, like, I'm telling her how I'm feeling. I'm like, I kind of don't like how, like, she talked about me with her sister and her family instead of just telling me. I feel like that was fake. Like, and once I realized how the sister was acting, I stopped speaking to her. I didn't really have nothing to say to her. And old girl came to me and was like, yeah, my sister feel like y'all not including her and y'all don't really like her. And it's just like they was under this impression, like, we not here for your sister. We don't really fucking like her. Like, if you feel like that, bitch, good. Stay the fuck down away. Like, so I was just voicing all of that to Tay, and I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I don't know if I'm tripping or, like, you know, I'm just telling her. So I end up saying something to old girl or whatever. Only reason I'm saying this to Tay is because whoever the fuck I think my friend is, at this point, like, I don't even think you are who I think you are. And I'm looking at Tay because we both came from out of town. And this our both first impression about whatever the fuck is going on. So I'm trying to see if I'm tripping, like if you on the same page or what. And Tay did say she thought it was weird. So they bring the sister upstairs or whatever. She like, okay, let's just all talk about it. Which I don't even feel like that was needed. But I told her, like, I feel some type of way that you try to be, like, messy or whatever. I told her. And she was like, no, like, I wasn't saying it like that. I was just saying, like, if my sister was by herself, like, you would have just left her. And I'm like, no, I would have never left her. Like, that's my friend. Man, y'all, I got so much shit going on. I broke down crying and shit because I'm like, damn, I don't want y'all to feel like I'm not y'all friend. Like, bitch, I swear to God, it's so embarrassing.